Well, it's great to connect with you, Jessica. Thank you for your time today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course. What a trippy film. Wow, what a ride. Uh,
Hmm.
Very powerful. So you played one of the blood-sucking children in American Horror Story Hotel. So how is it now coming kind of full circle back into horror in a big way, leading this?
Oh, I was not expecting you to say that. It's so sweet. Yes, I was a blood-sucking vampire. I played Ren on American Horror Story, and I always had like a thing for horror growing up. I was like the weird kid that and would be like, I love romantic comedies and whatever. And I'd be like, I love horror. And I would be like on the other side of, the process of filming, so I would be able to see how it's done, and I kind of grew like a love for it. But yeah, so I did that when I was like 13, 14, and then this I did when I was 20. So it was a full circle transition back into horror, and I remember feeling like this was my first step back into like working in horror as an adult now. And I just had so much more to offer and bring, and so I really gave it my all, and I just love this project.
Yeah, you sure did. It's quite impactful. There's a lot going on. We've seen a lot of horror films that are female led, and they're really kind of put to the test and put to the brink. Were there any female actors in horror films or intense dramas uh, that you really found intriguing, that you may have been inspired by, that helped you with this or throughout your acting career?
Uh, I mean, I've always been inspired by Natalie Portman. She's one of my favorite actresses. But I guess in horror, it'd be like Drew Barrymore. Who else? Jamie Lee Curtis. Just like the scream queens of our industry. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think so.
Nice, nice. So when you read this, you sort of kind of let it ruminate and stew in your mind, what did you really want to bring to this character and these intense scenes in this diner where all the drama takes place?
Right. Um, there is I feel like the first half of the movie kind of is like the more mellow part before it gets all crazy. And I think my goal with my character was to make her likable still because she is going through so much. She's pregnant. Her dad is constantly indulging in whatever else and telling her what to do. She has coworkers that don't listen to her, don't respect her. She hates her job. She hates the toxic men around her, and she is kind of a bitch. And I think I just wanted to find some charm in her. So yeah, for the first half, I think that was my goal. For the second half, it was just like make it feel as real as possible, and show her resilience and endurance.
Yeah, it's heart pounding. There's a lot of heart pounding stuff going on here.
Hmm.
Director Alan Scott Neal said that this was sort of a love letter to like the 70s, 80s films like John Carpenter and William Friedkin. Did you ever,
Hmm.
did you, was there a particular John Carpenter film that really kind of stood out for you? Like,
Hmm. Like Halloween, right? I feel like that's one of his biggest ones, and one of like the first horror movies I got to watching when I was a kid. So I think Halloween, yeah.
nice. And what do you feel like when we're watching this? Like, I mean, I was watching and I was surprised at so many things. But what do you think will surprise audiences the most? Just either particular scene or just the unfoldment of it?
That's a good question. I think there's like a really big surprise in it, and I think people just have to like I feel like people watch the trailer and they're like, "Oh, I know what this movie is going to be." But I think there's so much more to uncover. Um, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, there's that surprise element. And then also there's like a really cute dance sequence that Nancy has that I think is a nice surprise in the middle. Like when we were watching it with in the theater with the audience, everyone just kind of like wasn't expecting it, and it was a nice little relief before the calm before the storm. Um so
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, the big storm, the big storm. So
Hmm.
I understand you play a character called Mimi alongside Cole Carter and Matt Rife in Candy Flip. Um, can you talk about maybe one or two of the best things about working alongside Matt, whose Netflix special is doing pretty well?
Mm-hmm. I love Matt. He's a great guy. We worked together the first time when I was like 17. And then again when I was 20, and maybe 19, yeah. He is a really hard worker, and I mean, getting to work with him twice is just such a privilege, and seeing him blossom in his own career since that film was made. I used to watch his comedy sets in the back of like a pickup truck. And now he's selling out the Hollywood Bowl and the amphitheaters, and it's just so successful. So I'm really happy for him, and much love to him.
It's cool. That's really great. Um, what can you tell us about Candy Flip?
I actually don't know if I can talk about Candy Flip. It's been its own little process of things to figure out within the production side of things. So I can't really talk about Candy Flip yet, but I can
Got
talk about other things.
got it. Um, so you're a young actress in Hollywood. What is that like these days? Do you feel like one must be stronger and more vigilant in the 2020s in showbiz?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I had come into this industry when I was like a kid. I was 5 years old. So growing up into the industry and with it, I think I've just had to develop a stronger look on things, that you face so much rejection, and there's a whole bunch of mess in Hollywood politically and whatever. There's just so much going on. But I do think that you have to carry some brave face in order to do this job, but it is also a privilege, and it is, we get to play pretend, and it's just so fun at the end of the day. We're so lucky.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. What's the one kind of role you'd like to play, or even a co-star you'd like to star with?
Oh, fun. Um, I would love to do like a Monster by Charlize Theron type of role. I think that'd be really challenging, super fun. Or like Girl Interrupted, Angelina Jolie, something a bit more out there, I think could be fun. Um, I would love to work with Natalie Portman. I would love to work with Meryl Streep, like any of the big Hollywood stars. Um, yeah.
Nice. So what is it about like Monster or Girl Interrupted that like intrigues you as far as like the characters go or the character you would play? That's kind of gritty.
Exactly. I think gritty is what I'm going for. I think people take a look at me and can either like typecast me as the mean girl or like the influencer girl or whatever. And what I liked about Last Straw as well is how Nancy was a bit more gritty and a bit more real, and just not this like pretty girl facade. There's so much more that I can bring, and I just want to be able to display that. So I think the grit, yeah.
Very cool. Well, one last question for you. What's the most interesting thing you've learned about yourself lately?
Oh my God, I love these questions. Um, hmm. Um, this may come off weird, but this has been like a reoccurring thought in my head the last couple of months. And seeing how we did this film in 2021 and now it's 2024, maybe it was 2022. I just know I was 20. Um, I feel like time has gone by really fast, and I am very hard on myself, but I want to be more mindful and more present with my time. And I think I've learned something about myself where I just need to do more of the things that make me happy and the things that I'm passionate about, because we only get to live this life once. I blinked and I was, 19 turning 20 on this set, and now I'm 22, and I know that sounds so pathetic because I'm so young, but I do just want to make use of my time and really make an impact in this world. So,
Very
yeah.
nice. That's a great thing to observe and know. It's a great pleasure to connect with you. Congrats on this film, Last Straw. It's quite engaging, and
Thank you.
look forward to seeing you in other things as well.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Be well.